Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of FTB Infinity Evolved. And in today's episode, we are going to start out by making ourselves a wrench from Industrial Craft 2. I did a little bit of research between episodes, and you may remember we left some of our machines over there at our kind of starter location because I was worried about them breaking and never being able, and having to remake them for a third time. I found out that they break totally by accident when I first made them, and then I had to remake them, and that was super awesome. But yes, Industrial Craft is not really a mod that I have played around with a whole lot. I kind of got into Industrial Craft, or I kind of got into Minecraft, I should say, after Industrial Craft had largely been replaced in mod packs as the tech mod. So I kind of skipped a lot of it, but I am excited to learn quite a bit about it over the course of this series. I think it's going to be really cool. But anyway, we've got some materials and stuff over here. We're going to try and pick these up. And if you shift right click them with the wrench, then you have an 80% chance of picking them up, which is pretty good. And I'm willing to do that so that I don't have to run all the way back here to use things like my metal former, for example. Which, by the way, the metal former is a great thing to make because all those plates that you need for a lot of recipes, you can actually do them with half the material cost if you set it up properly. So let's just grab all this stuff. I'm just going to take it back with me. I'll abandon this field for now. We now have absolutely nothing tying us to this original area. Also, between episodes, I did a lot more work on the base. We'll go take a look at that in a second. It's still not done. It's far from done, in fact, but I got a bit done. I got some work put in, and it's starting to come together. So if you look over there, you can see there's a big roof, a big high-pitched roof kind of over that little section that juts out right here. And I think what I'm going to do when I put in that pathway, that kind of like skywalk, I guess we'd call it, that comes from here into the mountain, I'll do another angled roof on that as well. It'll be kind of a nifty bridge-looking design. I think it'll be really cool once it's all said and done. This is definitely going to need some work, this little area right here, because it's looking pretty bland right now. In fact, the whole base is looking pretty bland, but we'll clean it up, we'll dress it up, especially as we get more materials and things like that. For now, I just kind of want to get access to everything. But I put in a second floor here and a third floor up here. The bridge will go across right here and into the mountain when that time comes. And then this is actually going to go up. I don't know how high, but it's going to go up even higher than it is right now. So I think when it's all said and done, it'll look really good. But let's see here. Where seeds go in there. Food goes, you know what? I'm just going to dump it in here for the time being because I don't really have anywhere else to put it. But we've got ourselves our compressor and our metal former now. And I think that's probably something we're going to want. So, let's see. We've got low voltage wire connectors. Where did I put all my technical stuff? I rearranged all my chests and now I don't know where anything is. Here we go. I think this is right. So let's come down here and just put these, I guess we'll just put them right here for now. I can always pick, now that I have the wrench, I can pick them up and put them down later if I am really worried about it. And eventually we'll make the electric wrench so we have a way to pick these up and put them down without any chance of them breaking. They still have an 80% chance of, or I should say a 20% chance of being broken when you use the Industrial Craft wrench. So there is still a small chance of it happening, but it's a lot more unlikely than if you use a pickaxe. So let's put, oh, not my potatoes, I need those. Hey, stop it. There we go. But anyway, as I said, it is very useful to have that because then I can make things like tin item casings and tin plates with half the material cost. So for example, say I want to make myself an iron chest, right? Let's take a look at the iron chest recipe. So the iron chest is a chest surrounded by iron plates. So that would mean that for each of these iron plates, in the early game, we would need 2 iron ingots. So we'd be looking at 16 iron ingots to make a single iron chest. With the metal former right here, if I put this into rolling mode and drop these iron ingots in there, with a little bit of power generation, these will turn into iron plates. And then I can use them for whatever I need to use them for, iron chests, whatever. So, all in all, not too bad. I do need to set up my power gen a little bit better. We're running kind of low on power, but we'll get there. I would like to take a look at Immersive Engineering, and I would really like to have... some items in book may not... Well, I'm not worried about the recipes. The recipes I can deal with. So I'm going to need a book and a lever. And I believe somewhere there's a lever. I think somewhere I've got a book. Yeah, here we go. So let's just put those together. And this will give us the engineer's manual, which is like world's smallest UI, apparently. But this will tell us some of the things that we can do to generate more power. So, for example, power generation, we can make a kinetic dynamo. We can make a windmill, which would be really good. Especially since we have this giant tower here. I think it'd be really cool to put a windmill like up there. So that's an option. I believe there's a water wheel in here. Yep, right here we got the water wheel. We've got the improved windmill. I mean, there's a lot of different options here. And what we'll need is, we'll need a kinetic dynamo kind of to start with. And that's what all that other stuff hooks up to. So let's take a look at the kinetic dynamo right here. And that's going to require steel. It's going to require an electrum wire coil, medium voltage, treated, so we'll need a treated stick, we'll need some electrum ingots. I think that's all pretty doable. We can make those in the smeltery, because I do have silver, and I do not actually have any gold ore. I just have gold blocks and gold ingots. Well, you know what? That's all right. Let's take a look here. If we go into this, so each of these, oh man, that's a lot of stuff. So we're going to need 4 electrum ingots for each of these. And we're going to need to do that recipe 4 times. So that's going to be 8. 16 electrum ingots. I think that's still doable. We'll be all right. So let's go ahead and start making some electrum in here. And we'll do 16 gold and 8 silver, which of course there's not room for in the smeltery, naturally. That's all right. This stuff will melt pretty quick. And then we'll be able to make our 8 electrum ingots, or our 16 electrum ingots, I should say. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you. There we go. Okay, so we got that stuff going, and that should produce the amount that we need. That was silver, right? Yeah, okay, good. Now, next, well, we've got that going. We're also going to need a a medium voltage capacitor. And that's going to require treated wood planks. And it looks like 2 more electrum ingots. So let's make 2 more. Man, I am so low on gold right now. I'm going to have to go mining here pretty soon. Let's just put those in as well. Oh, wow. That's a lot more electrum than I thought it was going to be. Okay, never mind. I accidentally doubled my numbers. Oops. That's all right. We'll turn all of that into ingots and blocks, and we should be good. Let me get that done in the smelter here, guys. I'll be right back with you. All right, guys, I am back. Excuse me. Feel like I got something in my throat. I am back, and we do have the ability to make a bunch of treated wood planks, so that is exactly what I'm going to do. Where did I find this creosote oil? There we go. And then let's go back to the kinetic dynamo. I'm not seeing it. We'll just do it this way. Here we go. Kinetic dynamo. Okay. So we're also going to need 3 steel ingots. I believe I've got steel in here. There we go. Couple of redstone. Not a big deal. And a little bit of actual iron, which is fine. And then the MV capacitor, not a big deal again. We'll do 3 redstone blocks. 1 lead ingot, which I just smelted up down here. Come here, you. There we go. So we got our lead blocks from Industrial Craft. It's strange that it comes out as those instead of the Tinker's Construct ones, but whatever. Not going to question it too much. Let's make those into that, like so, and then more iron. Okay, so let's do the medium voltage capacitor first. Then we'll need to make these electrum ingots. So let's just make, how many of these do we need? 8, I believe? Yes, okay. So we'll do that. And actually, we only need 4. 4 of that recipe. And then what goes in the middle of that? Another iron ingot. Okay. That's easy enough. There we go. And that should be everything we need to make the kinetic dynamo. So, we're good there. Now, we need to decide what we want to hook this thing up to. And we've got a couple options. We could go with the water wheel. We could do the windmill blades. What would the improved windmill blades cost? Tough fabric. We need industrial hemp. That might be doable. I believe I need a few of those. Let me look into this a little bit, guys, and I'll be back with you in just a sec. All right, guys, I am back, and I think I've figured out what my best option here is going to be. We're going to need 3 blocks of iron, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to make ourselves a water wheel, and specifically 3 of them. We're going to need an iron shaft for each one, which we do have the infrastructure to make. We're just going to take the metal former, change it to extruding, and put our iron blocks in there. That should make 3 of the iron shafts. And then for the water wheel segment, it's also pretty easy. It's just treated wood planks and treated wood sticks. So let's see. I think I've got some of those chilling in here. Yes, I do. So let's see. We're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for each of those. And each of the 8 is going to require 3 planks and 4 sticks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, let's see here. Let me think about this for a minute. So math and stuff. You know what? We'll just do this. We'll go ahead and make a bunch of those. And then I'll do... Oh, hey you, come back. There we go. So there's 16. I think I'm actually going to need some more treated wood. That's fine, though, because I've got plenty of creosote oil. And this should allow us to make the very last one. There we go. 24 of the water wheel segments. And then our metal former down here gives us the iron shafts that we need. And that's basically it. So now we'll put those in here, surround those with the segments, and bam, we now have 3 water wheels that we can hook up to our kinetic dynamo. And that's awesome. So next, we need to figure out where we're actually going to put this thing. And I think if we come outside, I think there's kind of like a natural spot to put it like right here, kind of off to this side, because we've got this little lake that's kind of right down in here. And it'd be kind of cool to run the water into there. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. But we want to make sure that we still have room to run the bridge over top of it. So I'm thinking we'll put the dynamo... That's the stair. May have to revise that a little bit. Let me think about this for a minute, guys. I'll be back with you in just a little bit. Alright guys, I am back. The good news is I decided I want the water wheel down here. The bad news is that means we're going to have to do some pretty extensive terraforming of this hill, I think. The reason that I want it down there is that's basically where all my technical machines are, and it makes the most sense, at least in my opinion, to run the water wheel down that way. This needs to kind of be cleared out too. So what we're going to do is basically just take a good chunk of this hill away. Do I have a hammer in one of my bags? No, I don't. I suppose my hammer's in there. Alright, I'm going to run and grab that real quick, because that's probably going to be something that I want for this little project. Just make it go a little faster. There we go. Grab that. Okay, so I'm going to clear back the land a little bit. And once I've got that done, I'll come right back to you. Alright guys, I am back, and I have enough space here to hook up the water wheels. If I can get down there. There we go. So what we're going to do is we'll hook them up like so. And can I get this one from here? Maybe? Maybe not. I don't know that I've got a decent angle at it. Let's just do this. We'll just come down here like this and hook it up right there. There we go. So that gets us our water wheels. And a lot of this, as far as like terrain and stuff, it's actually going to be pretty covered up. So it's not really going to matter all that much if it looks a little bit ugly. Which, to be completely honest, it really kind of does. So what we'll do is I think we need to take these out as well. We're basically going to run the water from here. So it'll start, this is the middle, and it will come down and flow this way. And that should generate a pretty decent amount of power. At least in theory. So we'll go... Oh, I don't actually have any water buckets filled up at the moment. That's all right. I have 2 of them right here. We'll put one there, one here, and one here. And now that thing is turning, and it's turning pretty well, if I do say so myself. Let's just take a peek down here. Yeah, everything seems to be flowing the way that it should. So this is good. This is what we want. And we'll do something like this to kind of cover it up at least a bit. I mean, I don't necessarily need it to be perfect, but, you know, we'll do at least a little bit of landscaping to make it look like it's not completely unnatural. I think that will do the trick. Can I... If I do that, no, that will stop the water? No, it won't. That will actually work out quite well. Yeah, good, 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 good. That's working the way that it should. Okay, so we've got that part of it done. That's going to give us a pretty decent amount of power. At least, you know, by early game standards, because I would still say that we're relatively early game here. I'd still say we're not super advanced or anything like that. So now we need a way to actually hook that power up to our systems, and that should be fairly easy to do, I think. I think what I can do is if I take a connector... what's the high voltage require? Hardened clay? Hardened clay and aluminum. That's actually not terrible, but I don't think that thing generates nearly enough. I think medium voltage should work. Do I have any hardened clay whatsoever? I do not. Okay, well, I'm going to go gather some, guys. I'll be back with you in just a moment. Alright guys, I am back, and I think I'm going to go ahead and invest in the high voltage wire connectors. I don't really need them per se, but it could just be a really useful thing to have lying around. Medium would be fine, and honestly low voltage would probably do the trick and be more than enough. But just to be safe, I'm going to go high voltage because honestly, I'm probably going to need high voltage wires eventually anyway, so I might as well make them now since I can afford them. As for the actual high voltage wire, that's relatively easy to make as well. We'll just need a couple treated sticks, there we go, and a little bit of steel. And we go like so, and there we go. That will give us what we need. So, we're in good shape there. This should all be done by now, I would think. Are you done smelting? Yes, you are. And we'll just take some aluminum and do that. Now, as far as the next step, we also need some sort of energy storage cell. Whether it be RF, I mean, there are obviously like for example, the leadstone energy cell right here. You know, this thing exists. Actually, that might be doable. Because I think we have everything we need for this to actually make it. Let's just take a look at storage cells real quick. We've got leadstone. We've got hardened, which takes bronze. I think we could probably do that. Yeah, why don't we make a hardened energy cell? Let me get all the stuff together for that, guys, and I'll be back with you in just a minute. Alright guys, I am back. I've got our thermionic fabricator all hooked up, and I think what I'm going to do is make myself put that in here. Go ahead and make a bronze electron tube. And that should work out. Then we'll take all this stuff out of there as well. And now I think I've got everything to make what we need. Pretty sure. So let's go ahead and make a few of those. Did I derp that up? I bet I did. Nope. No, I'm actually good. Okay. Whew. Close. And then we'll go ahead and put those in there. Make 6 of those. And I don't suppose I have any Invar sitting in here, do I? Probably not. That's alright, though. I'll make that in a sec. So we've got the hard parts. We're going to need an electrum ingot with 2 pieces of redstone dust, like so. I'm going to need Invar. Oh, what am I doing? Hey, quit it. Here we go. Invar is nickel and iron in the smeltery. Excuse me. So we'll take, let's just do that. We'll make a batch of this. There we go. That should work out pretty well. And we need to make ourselves the leadstone energy frame. So we'll grab lead. We need this. And we're going to need glass, which I have sitting, already in my inventory. Perfect. So let's go ahead and make one of those. And then as soon as that Invar's done, we should be able to surround that. And there's the nickel. Tell you what, I'll get all this made. I'll be back in a sec. And we're back. Okay, so we'll go ahead and surround the leadstone energy cell with the Invar. And now I should be able to make the hardened energy cell, which is exactly what I needed. Now, what I want to do is I want to hook this up in such a way that I can have all of my power coming in from one spot and all of my other power coming out from a different spot. So I think I'm going to put the hardened energy cell right here. We'll say input from the top and from this side. Oh, actually, just kidding. That won't work. It's going to have to be moved over a little bit, which is fine. There we go. And we want a high voltage wire connector. Do I have any? I have like no building blocks, and I'm going to need to grab stuff. See, this is the horrible thing. I thought I was prepared, and it turns out I'm not at all prepared. The professionalism. Okay, so let's try this again. We'll put a low voltage connector there. We'll put a high voltage connector here. High voltage wire like so. That way this thing... Why you no fill up? Ah, because it needs the maximum input. Because for some reason that's not set to... That was set to 0 by default? That's so weird. Okay, well, that solves the problem. I don't know why that changed, but whatever. Oh, that was not right. Go away. Come back. I want my high voltage thingy. Okay, so now this thing should fill up with power. Yep, and I don't know how many RF per tick that is exactly, but that's definitely a lot more than, than 20 RF per tick or something like that. So that should fill up relatively quickly, which is good. And then we should be able to take another low voltage connector and bring it out to the bottom and hook up everything else to this. So we do something like that and something like this, and these should now get power as needed. It's a mess of wires and it looks quite interesting, but it's something at least. But there we go. We now have a much better source of power than what we were rocking previously. We got the water wheel going. We got everything all hooked up. We got an energy cell. And I think we are in good shape, guys. So, guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. There are links in the video description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time.